actually come to the end of this, and I think there are some key questions which are very, very imposing, and I would like to invite Mr. YK Jain, who is also part of NCC. He has two questions, one for Mr. Rao and one for Mr. Vigoya. So let me take Surabhi's question first, because she's very, very important person and would be traveling later and you would not be able to talk. So his question is probably you can read it out.
Please elaborate your product in SDR domestic funding, whether it is offered to SME for project working capital, and what is the factor?
What is the factor for disbursing?
No, there's a key factors for.
How do you disperse this fund?
Yes.
To the EPCs or small entities?
So the thing is that our product to SBI is, as I mentioned, program to results. So it's like the entire picture that we are providing to them. The due diligence for selection of the contractors, etc. So it's being done by SBI. So they are starting out the detailed process on how they will be, selecting these partners. To begin with, one of the parameters is like, say, there should be channel partners with Himanari. Then they are providing the funds to only commercial and industrial consumers. So if your MSME partners are a part of it and it's credit worthy enough, then they will definitely consider it. So the thing is that SBI will be on lending to the developers or the RESCOs, and then they will be investing in these group stocks.
Basically, the question is, RESCO we understand, a lot of things are available. These are for the capex projects, because capex is also 50%, and these is being done by EPCs or small integrators. So they also need a lot of working capital to manage the business, and I don't find any product which is addressing this particular market.
So the flexibility that we provided to SBI is not to restrict to any one module, whether it's or the CapEx module. So actually everything depends, because SBI is very new in this area, so everything depends on the credit, risk perspective. So if that caters first in terms of the priority, developers and this, if they have say $10 million available, they will only select those which will be first filling up the pipeline, which are lesser riskier. So let me put it from that, angle from their perspective. So we as bank, we have not singled out that this model is not allowed, that is not allowed. And the rates that they are charging is again a range, it's not like, so marginal cost of selling is what they are at the beginning, and then depending on how riskier the, on lender is or the off-taker is, they will accordingly peg it to certain more business. I hope I'm able to address.
To summarize here,
I think she's there with us the right time.
I think the obvious thing follow up. You have said communication outreach. I think many more people need to understand it.
Right.
The best thing possible is, and again our federation can do it, is to organize a seminar, all such people.
Already signed up.
Yes. Okay.
Your people are at work.
Okay.
Your soldiers are working. So the other question is to Dr. E.S. Rao, which you raised, and I think if you can please.
If I understand the question, this is can you please elaborate about SBLC offers the foreign banks for credit enhancement or increasing fee limits of existing banks? How safe are they? See, SBLC is a standard LC, which is part of your total project cost when you do it, in that some kind of a fund and non-fund will be there. During the construction, if I am talking about ITP, if any project is running, I am not talking about your working capital. So this is the very safe instrument any bank can give. In Zimbabwe foreign bank, it can be even our Indian banks also. So it is a negotiation between the bank, the seller and the buyer. So
getting conferred, if LC is there, it can be anything, usage LC, or it can be a site LC, whatever it is, standby if it is there. So it is definitely he is going to pay whether once the shipment is honored. So it is safe. There is no second thought on it. That's why people go by SBLC, then they guarantee.
see, my question here is very elaborate clarity. See, there are products by the foreign banks which are not
very well accepted inside Indian banking community. They offer you the risk enhancement for getting you CC limit so that you can manage working capital from your existing bank. And for this they charge 10% up to 10%. Okay. Now these are accepted either through the MNC banks or through some wholesale channels, which is not very well set in India. But that is an instrument available for the EPC to get the working capital. So can you elaborate those kind of questions?
See, whatever may be the SBS could be an instrument, it's beautiful, it can be used. This LC, if I am a project, I have total requirement of my fund and non-fund, it should be well within that. It cannot be something outside that, no banker will allow you that. So you have to play the game within that and then see which instrument fits you, and then if it enhances the credit for you in the working capital in the short term, make use of it, so it can be done.
So I think we have to close for lunch for another 2 minutes or so, but I request Sophie to take these two very important questions we see. So one is from Mr. Amit Ameja. He's from KPMG, Infrastructure Advisory.
So the question is about the energy storage demonstration, what's the focus area, grid balancing or ancillary services, a separate revenue stream. So we are actually again in the same boat as all of us are, because we don't know that what we should be doing in energy storage. It is such a new sector. So that's why we are actually first doing some technical work on that, technical analytical work on this area, and then we will be able to understand that where should be the focus of this engagement should be. Then the important thing is that everything has commercial implications. So we will have to factor in that also, that how big should be the storage, whether it should be few seconds, minutes, or hour, or 2 hours, or 4 hours. So all those are being worked out as we speak.
This is from Sonu Sharma from ISCL. She's here on the previous.
So
Can you stand up and identify yourself?
So you have asked about the working mechanism, payment security funds. So I will just briefly touch upon it, won't go into many details because we are still working on it. So as Dr. Ashwini mentioned briefly in his first session, that we will be looking at absorbing the off-taker risk. So these will, for instance, be looking at the state level tenders where they don't have the comfort of SECI or NTPC present there, because SECI now has entered in the TPA agreement. So they have seen more aggressive bids as compared to what they were seeing earlier. So similar kind of model for state level bids, that's what we are looking at. The state discoms will be selected again as per the credit rating. So it could vary from say 3 months to 12 months, the payment security funds available for these developers, depending on who the off-taker is. So that all is work in progress, and there will be, so I can go on about it, but let's take it offline, because again it's not public consumption yet.
So the last two questions are from Mr. Dinesh Yadav, very important functionary of the and these are especially to you, so I thought instead of my delving,
I'll just try to read it out. So basically, in rooftop solar power plants projects financed in RESCO mode, as those are mostly grid-connected projects, power cuts by DISCOM has started, affecting the cash flow. All right.
Online projects, grid-connected projects, DISCOM is trying to power.
Right.
And during those power cuts, we do not have cash flow.
Right.
And that is how we are and it is happening in the jam. 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 hour. Online grid-connected projects, we are not able to affect.
Right. Of course, I really second your point here, because while as a commercial bank, we've not gone deep into financing all rooftop projects, particularly in states, where C&I customers have already started installing big capacities of rooftop projects. But this concern is definitely there, and as a lender also we point out this fact, that how will net meter help, if during that period where power was supposed to flow to the DISCOM, power is already cut. So I think I agree with your fact here. The only point I can mention is that rooftop as a solution, I think most of the discoms are taking it, for their high usage customer, high HP consumers. Most of the discoms have started now realizing that this is the way forward, maybe to take care how their RP obligations have to be met. So of course, one way they do all this stuff, but the other point is that through encouraging installation of rooftop projects, they are in a way, abiding by the RP obligations which are under with everyone to see for, under the other schemes and these things. So increasingly, we are seeing a positive movement from DISCOM side also to, not aggravate all these issues. I think we also have a second question. Maybe if you can just speak about it.
I think we will have to take it offline tonight, since you are available during the lunchtime. You keep the papers with you, and I think you can keep discussing it. And I think with that, we've completely run out of time. And I think if the mouses are not visible, they're actually in the stomachs of everyone, I'm sure. So that's what's happening right now. And they're, I'm sure, jumping by now. So let me thank all of my co-speakers on this very important panel, and all of you who have been so participative, listening so carefully, raising your questions so nicely. And I need to thank all of you, and may I request that it be done with a round of applause for all of us. Thank you very much. It's been a lovely day. And before I close, again, I'll take just last few seconds. Can I have the permission of almost all the speakers to share the presentations with somebody, whoever asks for them? I have taken Surabhi's special permission, and she's asked me to edit it wherever, so I'll do that in full. And whoever wants the presentation, we can mail it to them from NCC. We'll be very happy to do that. And the only last thing is that please join us for lunch. I will not go into a formal vote of thanks. Oh, Pranavji wanted to have a last word. Please, most welcome, sir. Most welcome. Most welcome.
Thanks to all of you, and the success of this event can be gauged from the fact that we have requests for two similar things right that emerged today here. One that was suggested for CRISIL, this rating, we should have a separate with the rating agencies session, and similarly on rooftop, which Dr. Ashwini Kumar also said. So that itself. So with that, I would like to add one thing, that we have created this platform as a national platform to address all solar issues, finance, legal, everything. So all of you who are not members, we have welcomed everybody today, free of charge. So I would request that those of you who are not members, at least I can see IB, I can see, M Plus has gone, I have told him also, and all of us kindly become members and strengthen this federation. Then we'll move forward. Thank you very much.